This video is on multiplying and dividing integers. Harmon and Dakota are playing a game in which they choose two cards and multiply the numbers. The person with the largest product wins the round. Which card should they choose in order to win the round? So you want to choose the two cards that gives you the highest yield of number. And if you have 12, -16, 8, and -6, the two cards that you would choose to get you the highest number is -16 and -6. All right, the next one, complete the multiplication table at the right and then answer the questions. And remember, when we're doing carbites, that we could use the triangle to do multiplying and dividing integers. So I'm going to complete this table real quickly. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times a -1 is a -2. 2 times that's a -4. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. 0, -1, -2. Anything times 0 is 0 all the way across. -1 times 2 is a -2. -1 times 1 is a -1. -1 times 0 is 0. -1 times a -1 is 1. And a -1 times a -2 is 2. -2 times 2 is a -4. -2 times 1 is a -2. -2 times 0 is 0. -2 times a -1 is 2. And a -2 times a -2 is 4. So what patterns do you see when you observe this? And that is two positives, result in a positive answer. And then two negative numbers result in a positive answer. What hypothesis can you make about multiplying two negative numbers? The solution will be positive. All right, multiplying and dividing integers. Multiply or divide two numbers. If the signs are the same, then the answer is positive. And then you have an example here. 8 times 3 is 24. And a -8 times a -3 is 24. The signs are different, then the answer is negative. Eight times a -3 is -24, and a -8 times 3 is a -24. All right, let's look at this first example. One January day, the low temperature in Fargo, North Dakota was -8 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature rose 4 degrees every hour for the next 6 hours. After 6 hours, what was the temperature? So what do you know? You know the starting temperature is -8 degrees Fahrenheit. It rose 4 degrees Fahrenheit per hour for 6 hours. All right, what you need to know. What was the temperature? 6 hours later. All right. The temperature rose 4 degrees every 6 hours. So that gives us 24 degrees. And then we have a -8 plus 24 degrees equals 16 degrees Fahrenheit. So the solution is the temperature was 16 degrees Fahrenheit after 6 hours. Number 2, Quinn and Leo are playing a game where they are given 2 numbers and must multiply them together to find the third number in a row. Then they will multiply the second and the third number in the row to find the fourth number. They continue until the row is completed. If the person with the largest value in the fifth column wins, who is the winner of each round? So Quinn had 4 and -4. That gives him -16. A -4 times a -16 gives them 64. A -16 times 64 is a -1024. All right. Leo has a -2 and a -3. You multiply those two together, you get 6. A -3 and a 6, you get -18. And a -6 and a -18, you get a -108. So in round 1, Leo has the highest number. In round 2, Quinn has a -4 and a 1. Multiply those together, you get -4. 1 and -4, you get -4. A -4 and a -4, you get 16. And Leo's got a -5 and a -2, which is 10. A -2 and 10 is -20. And 10 and a -20 is a -200. So in round 2, Quinn wins. All right, in example 3, it says 78 divided by a -6. So we know that a positive divided by a negative is a negative. But 78 divided by 6. 6 goes into 7 one time, which is 6. 1, bring down your 8. 6 goes into 18 3 times. So we have a -13. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. And then 42 divided by 7, we know that, and that's 6. Number 5, a negative divided by a positive is a negative, and 21 divided by 3 is 7. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. 72 divided by 8 is 9. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. And 98 divided by 7. 7 goes into 9 one time with 2 left over, and 7 goes into 28 4 times. So it'll be a -14. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. And 85 divided by 17 is 5. So the answer is 5. -5. All right. Number 9. Theo is playing a game where he must divide 60 by a number and get a quotient less than 10. Shade in any square that Theo could choose. So he's got 60 divided by any number that gives him a quotient of less than 10. So 60 divided by 10 is 6. 60 divided by negative 12 is a negative 5. 60 divided by 3 is 20, so we'll leave that alone. 60 divided by negative 1 is a negative 60, and that's less than 10. A 60 divided by 2 is 30, so that doesn't count. 60 divided by negative 5 is a negative 12. That's less than 10. 60 divided by 6 is 10, but it says less than 10, so we can't count that. 60 divided by 4 is 15. Can't count that. And 60 divided by negative 6 is a negative 10. So the boxes that I've X'd are the ones you should shade. Number 10, 3 friends are playing a card game. The person who draws a card with an expression equivalent to negative 2 times 40 wins. Which player won? So a negative 2 times 40 is a negative 80. So Mari's got a negative 8 times a negative 10, which is 80. June has negative 5 and a negative 2 is 10. And 10 times 8 is 80. Negative 4 times a negative 4 is 16. 16 times 5 is 80. Negative 80. So who won? Riley won.